Yes, it is another edition of Beyond Reason Radio. Because there is so much in the world that is beyond reason that we have to go through it. And I am your voice of reason that goes through it. This is your host, Michael Yaffe. As always, you're listening to Beyond Reason Radio on BeyondReasonRadio.com and the Beyond Reason Radio app, which you can download at your appropriate app stores and listen to the show live or catch all the podcasts on the app. Don't forget to follow me at Beyond Reason R as well on Twitter and like us on Facebook. So there probably isn't anything more beyond reason than the Democrat debate. And if you were following me on Twitter, you saw a lot of tweets by me during the debate, which we did. We had a debate viewing party at Doc's Streetside Grill, who sponsors this show. And you'll hear more about Doc's Streetside Grill later, official sponsor of Beyond Reason Radio. And we did, and I tweeted a lot. So I've decided to do something a little interesting today. I'm not going to do this for every Democrat debate because I know you would get sick of it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go point by point of different things during the debate that was said and basically tell them how they were wrong. Now, I'm just a kid. I'm just a 29-year-old kid who's into this stuff, who reads a lot, who is usually right if you listen to this show. By the way, I'm joined by executive producer Michael Formisano, who laughed when I said that. He's laughing because it's true, though.
I mean, I have to laugh.
Because it's true.
Because it's just how it is.
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if we'll have time during the show, but there's stuff going on in Cuba right now, which, again, I predicted. Just saying. Just saying. It happens.
Another Yaffe prediction. I'm going to get you one of those hats with the big jewel that you wrap around. You know, I'll get you a nice glass ball.
Yes.
You can set it up.
Yes. Even though I don't even need those things, we'll do it.
Well, does anybody really need it? I always figured it was for show.
You're probably right. And how much do one of those glass balls cost?
Well, it depends on where you buy it. I mean, if you buy it in a crystal shop, you're going to spend a few $100s.
Yes.
Or you can just go to a Halloween store. It's like $10.
Let's do that. That'll be fun. Maybe I should be that for Halloween this year.
And if I may, I'd like to give a quick shout out. Happy birthday, Dad. I know you guys are out there right now going to have some dinner. I want you to know that I love you very much. Age is only a number, and you guys are going to have a good time tonight, all right?
Yes, happy birthday,
Mr.
Birthday. Ron Formisano, because he's awesome. He's like the biggest fan of the show.
Yeah, he's a good fan. He's a big fan of the show.
Yeah, so definitely happy birthday wishes to him. Okay, before I get to the debate stuff, though, this is breaking as of today. And look, a lot of people probably listen to the show and think I just have it out for Donald Trump. I've supported him on many things. I thought it was great what he did this week when he's like, goes to CNBC. He's like, look, I'm not going to go to the debate if it's 3 hours again. Which I'm like, thank you. 3 hours is just way too long. I think the last time they did a 3-hour debate, I fell asleep the last 45 minutes. I mean, mostly because I have to get up early in the morning, but still, 3 hours. I don't need to listen to politicians for 3 hours. Yes. Mike's like falling asleep just thinking about it now. But Trump made some interesting comments today in an interview on Bloomberg TV, which I'm like, really? Really? Again? I mean, this happens way too much, and I have to call him out on it. I have to call him out because he's still winning. And I know all the Trump supporters out there are just going to defend him and fine, whatever.
Call him out.
Yes.
Call him out. He does it to everyone else.
It's a good point. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of Donald Trump. You're right.
You shouldn't be afraid.
You know, work on that just a little bit. It's pretty good.
I know. I used to have it down. I've been doing it so much that I kind of lost it. You would think it'd go the other way, but I'll work on it. All
right. So Mike's going to work on that while we play what Donald Trump said in an interview on Bloomberg TV about a former president.
I think I'm much more competent than all of them. When you talk about George Bush, I mean, say what you want. The World Trade Center came down during his time. If you look
Hold
at
on,
Sandy Hook,
you can't blame George Bush for that.
He was president, okay? Don't blame him or don't blame him, but he was president. The World Trade Center came down during his reign.
Why? Why Donald Trump? I love how too he goes, yeah, well, yeah, he was during his reign. I just love that little part. That's just a side note there. Well, yeah, that's not fair. Well, yeah, it is fair. Yeah. But, I've heard this before. This isn't the first time I've heard this attack on George W. Bush, who was president for maybe less than 9 months when 9/11 happened. By the way, if you want to blame anyone for the towers going down, you got to blame the president before him, Bill Clinton, who basically hollowed out a lot of the military and the military practices and never really went after the terrorist over there. The terrorists really grew under the Clinton administration. So why don't you attack him, Donald Trump? It'd be a good time to do it since Hillary is going to be the Democrat nominee most likely. Why are you attacking George W.? Well, he's doing it because he's trying to attack Jeb Bush. And he thinks when he attacks George W. Bush, he's attacking Jeb. But this isn't the first time I've heard this attack. You know where I've heard this attack before? Keith Olbermann. Does everybody remember Keith Olbermann, the crazy left-wing nut job who basically got kicked out of MSNBC because he's, well, a nut job? Now he's on sports again, and I think he might go back to something else. I don't know. But this was something that Keith Olbermann used to attack George W. Bush on all the time. And this is something Democrats used to attack George W. Bush on all of the time. And libs and leftists and statists and communists, they would love to attack George W. Bush on this all the time. Why is a Republican nominee doing this? He's not the nominee yet. Hopefully he won't be. But why is the Republican candidate doing this? Why? I hear Donald Trump do this stuff all the time, where I hear him say things, and I'm like, that's what the Democrats say. Why are we so happy and thrilled of Donald Trump when he says things and repeats things that I hear often from Democrats, from leftists? Why do we keep doing this? I don't understand it. He did the same thing with health care. He said single payer is a great thing in Canada. That's what Democrats say. He talks about how we need tariffs and all this stuff. That's what Democrats say. What are you trying to do, Trump? You're supposed to be a conservative, I believe, right? Is anyone who really believes Donald Trump is a conservative? I mean, really? Really, I've debunked that many times on this show before. But I hear this come out, and then it's just another thing where I'm like, this is Trump, once again, sounding like a Democrat. And yet all the Trump supporters they'll defend him. He says things I wouldn't believe, but they'll defend him. I just don't get it. I don't get it. There's so many better candidates out there. In fact, there is another better candidate out there who I like a lot. The more I hear about him, I like him. I mean, I already really liked him. Many of you listening probably like him. Ted Cruz. And I was looking through a bunch of different things in the analysis on the Democrat debate. And what Ted Cruz said about the Democrat debate probably made the most sense of anything I've ever heard when it comes to really going after Democrats. See, Ted Cruz is smart. He doesn't go after Republicans and say things a Democrat says. I take that back. He actually does go after Republicans when they need to go after. He went after Mitch McConnell. He goes after the Republican leadership, who basically acts like Democrats now. But Cruz really hits the nail on the head when it comes to what the Democrat debate was all about. The Democrat debate. This is what Cruz said.
Last night's debate, it was more socialism, more pacifism, more weakness, and a whole lot less Constitution. Last night's debate, I'll give them credit for honesty. Every one of them says they want to double down on Barack Obama's failed agenda. You know, striking in all of that, they have no solutions to actually bring back jobs and economic growth. Their only solution is they want to spend more, they want more debt, and they want to go after our constitutional rights.
Ted Cruz is exactly right. You know, when I was watching the debate, Ted Cruz basically said this. When I was watching the debate, I was sort of in disbelief of what I was hearing. I mean, I already knew that basically the Democrat Party has become the Socialist Party. I knew that candidates, I mean, Bernie Sanders says he's a socialist, but I knew that candidates like O'Malley and Hillary Clinton were socialists in hiding, I guess. Don't really want to admit it, but that's what they are. I knew this. I knew that's where the party was going. Obama basically is this. So I knew this. But it's just still amazing. It's still amazing to watch a debate where all the candidates are basically spouting socialist, statist, Marxist things constantly. In fact, I wish I could have found a montage out there of how many times they said free, giving out free this and free that. We're going to give more free stuff, and we're going to give out to this group, this to that group, free college tuition, free healthcare, free. Of course, they never act. Well, they actually do try to address how they're going to pay for it, which their solution to how to pay for it is completely absurd and not based on fact. And just like most of what they say isn't really based on, facts and math. I'm going to say that. It's not based on math. They don't understand math. I mean,
That's okay. Neither do I.
I have a feeling, Mike, that you understand math better than they do.
I don't
just
know.
have a feeling.
Math and me, we're just not friends. I've tried a couple times. That just doesn't work.
I have
Calculators and I are friends. Siri
well,
and I are
I don't
friends.
think they use calculators either.
Oh, okay.
Siri and
Well,
get off the.
I don't even have to
Siri.
type. He just tells me.
Siri. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, but yeah, I'm hearing the candidates talk about all this stuff. Don't.
What's 12 times?
I missed that.
She misses a lot of things these days.
Oh, is she getting old, a little senile?
She's just a woman. Oh, did I say that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike's a little tired. Excuse him. He tries to get by in his good looks anyway.
It's been a long day. All right, I'll let you get back to the important stuff. Math. Nobody knows math. Go ahead.
Well, the candidates don't know math for sure. Because all they do is want to give away free stuff. Free this, free that, free college tuition, free health care, force businesses to give family paid leave, want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. They want to expand Social Security, expand Medicare, free health care for illegal immigrants. And how are we going to pay for this? How?
Magic.
See, there you go. Magic. And that gives me, I was thinking, you know who the perfect Democrat candidate is? The perfect Democrat candidate.
Who is it?
Who is it? This is who needs to run for president in the Democrat Party. Because this is what they want, I guess. This is what Democrats want.
Come Santa Claus,
Yes.
Come Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Everyone's like, oh, it's too early for this. Not if you go in Walmart today. If you go in Walmart, apparently it's Christmas tomorrow. Yes, Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to the Democrat debate. He should just be there. He's going to be at the Democrat convention. Your nominee is... Put up the music again. Put it up. I want to hear. It's Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes. Ho, ho, ho. What do you want for Christmas, little Democrat? Free health care? Here you go. Merry Christmas. And Santa Claus does wear a red suit, so it kind of goes with communist reds. I like that.
Connection.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, he's the
Are you
perfect...
telling me Santa's a communist?
Possibly. Well, think
Because
about it.
you're going to make a lot of children very sad.
Okay, I'm not going to attack Santa Claus, but he's like he'd be the perfect Democrat candidate. What do you want for Christmas, little Democrat? I want free health care. What do you want for Christmas, little illegal immigrant? I want free college tuition, or at least in-state college tuition. Okay, you get it. Ho, ho, ho. How are you going to do that, Santa? Magic. Christmas magic. What? Mike just likes hearing the song. Christmas magic. Little.
Hillary Clinton.
You know, he actually did win an election for mayor in North Pole. You know that, Santa?
Did he?
It was like a legit election they had in like
But I heard
Alaska.
he bribed.
Well, he's corrupt. Santa Claus is corrupt.
He's very corrupt. He
I mean,
bribed all the elves.
the elections are rigged. I mean, do you think the elves actually have a choice?
Elves sitting in a building making toys sounds a lot like China to me.
Exactly. See, you get it. Okay, I don't want to text in. I love Christmas. But but seriously, think about it. He's the perfect candidate for the Democrats. That's what they want. Why don't they just bring him out now and we'll just elect Santa for president?
It'll make it a lot easier.
And, when ISIS tries to attack us, he'll just, I don't know, throw out gumdrops and
I can tell you this.
lollipops and, yes.
We would be one of the most efficient countries in the world.
This is true. He does get things done.
Everything would be powered by reindeer and children's love.
Who's going to clean up all the reindeer poop, though?
Good question.
Create jobs.
Creating
create jobs.
Now we're talking.
See, this is the Democrat Party platform. Free stuff given to you by Santa and creating new jobs in the toy factory and cleaning up reindeer poop. Plus, the reindeer have to be fed. There's jobs right there.
Exactly.
This is where we've come to in this country. It's hard, and a lot of people like Santa. It's hard not to elect Santa. When Santa comes and wants to be, it's not hard not to be like, I'm going to vote for Santa. I mean, Trump's cool and all, but this is Santa Claus.
It's Santa.
Yeah, everybody's so
I know
happy.
him.
I know. Well, he knows you.
Santa.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
Does he know when I'm awake?
He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. You know how he knows?
Oh, goodness sake.
The NSA. That's how he knows. All right. All right, you are listening to...
This just in. The NSA is run by none other than Santa.
Play the music again on our way out. You're listening to Beyond Reason Radio. Yes. Get into the Christmas spirit. The Democrats are already there. You're listening to Beyond Reason Radio. By the way, in the next segment, I'm going to go debunk basically everything the Democrats said in the debate, point by point. You have to stay tuned. You listen to Beyond Reason Radio at BeyondReasonRadio.com.
Children sing and all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
You can now listen to the voice of the millennial generation on Podbean. Download the app or go to beyondreasonradio.podbean.com.
Orlando's newest dining sensation, Doc's Streetside Grill, specializes in amazing flavors at prices you'll love. With special events and entertainment ranging from trivia to live bands to poker every evening. There's something for everyone. Doc's has amazing flavors that are always fresh. You know the motto, made today, bought yesterday. Doc's is located across from Orlando Regional Medical Center on South Orange Avenue. Check out DocStreetSideGrill.com for more info. Doc's is your prescription for good times. See you there.
Subscribe to the Beyond Reason podcast today on your Stitcher app and hear the voice of reason anytime.
Hey, this is Mikey Affey from Buttheadinger Live and Beyond Reason Radio, and I have a question for you. Are you planning on taking any long road trips? Well, I have the perfect tool for you to make that trip go by a little bit faster. What you want to do is download the iHeartRadio app. With the iHeartRadio app, you can find your favorite music stations or create your own custom station. Don't forget to look up your favorite talk show hosts. You can find that on there as well. Make sure to download the app today at iHeartRadio.com.
You can catch the latest Beyond Reason podcast on SoundCloud today. You know what's Beyond Reason? Yappy is now on YouTube. Go to YouTube now and just search Beyond Reason Radio.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Yes, I am now on YouTube. On pretty much every podcast platform you can think of. Just go to there, search Beyond Reason Radio, or download the app. Just go to your appropriate app stores, download the app, and listen to the show live or catch the podcast as well. You can also listen to the podcast on iHeartRadio. Go to iHeartRadio.com or download the app there. Okay. So in the last segment, of course, I talked about how the perfect Democrat candidate is Santa Claus, which it is because they give away free stuff. But I decided to do something for my listeners today because they want to hear this stuff this time. Because they hear all these lies by the media, by the liberal media, the leftist media, the communist media, whatever you want to call it. They hear all these lies by the Democrats during this debate. And you know what? I just feel like debunking them all. It's just so easy. It's so much. It's actually, I kind of enjoy it a little bit. Just a little bit. I need to debunk them all, and I did it on Twitter during the debate. You can follow me at Beyond Reason R. But there's just some things they say that it's just, no, you're wrong. Not only are you wrong, but you're lying. You have to be lying. How do they not know this? Pick up a book, for crying out loud. Anyways, this is first thing in the debate that we're going to play here. This is by the way, it's going to be, you're going to hear some Sanders and some Hillary and some O'Malley. Who cares what Chaffee thinks, or Chafee? I just hate that his name is so close to Yaffee.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling you Chaffee.
Yeah, don't do that. That's like the biggest insult. I mean, if you watched him, I don't need to be associated with that craziness. He should change his last name for my sake, because I mean,
it's all right. You already own Yappy. Isn't that like the one you've been going by lately?
Okay, I'm gonna fire my producer here soon.
Isn't that the one you love so much?
Yeah.
Disclaimer: please do not call Mike Yappy. He does not like it.
It's not my name.
I know.
I mean, I guess I should just accept it, but Yaffy is cool. Yappy is just like,
I know. Yappy's got like a negative thing vibe. With
yeah. Well, anyways,
so we'll stick with Yaffy.
Anyway, like Laffy Taffy. Just think. Laffy Taffy, dang it, I probably made it worse.
Shake that Laffy Yaffy. That Laffy Yaffy.
I don't know why I haven't come out with my own brand of Laffy Taffies.
That's going to be my new ringtone.
Yaffy Taffies. Why have I not made this?
Gosh.
I can make millions.
Great. This is great. Yaffy Taffy.
I can make millions. Anyways, well, maybe we'll do that and sell some dealing with the show in the future. But anyways, here is, you're going to hear from some different Democrat candidates, and it really doesn't matter who I play because they all think the same thing. They're all a bunch of socialist Marxists, so it's like, it doesn't matter if I play Sanders or Hillary. They're just all communists, so whatever. But here's them talking about the economy. I think this is Sanders. Go ahead and play this cut, Mike.
Let's remember where we were when Bush left office. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month, and I know my Republican friends seem to have some amnesia on this issue. But the world's financial crisis was on the verge, world's financial markets system was on the verge of collapse. That's where we were. Are we better off today than we were then? Absolutely. But the truth is that for the last 40 years, the great middle class of this country has been disappearing. And in my view, what we need to do is create millions of jobs by rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, have pay equity for women workers, end our disastrous trade policies, which have cost us millions of jobs, and make every public college and university in this country tuition free.
See, I told you, Santa Claus.
Where's he from?
I don't know. He's
Because he's got that kind of accent.
Yeah, he's from Vermont. No, not Vermont.
That's all right.
Why am I drawing a blank on this?
I already know who I'm voting for anyway.
Why am I drawing a blank on this? No, you've given in.
I already know who I'm voting for.
You're just going to write it in, Santa Claus. Or just vote any Democrat, and that's what you get. But anyways, thanks for that endorsement by Mike Formisano.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I need to stop veering off here. Keep going.
You're fine. We're just having way too much fun today. But here's the thing that really drives me crazy. For once, they talk about the economic crisis. They never talk about what really caused it. And it was more leftist policies that caused that crisis. And I'm going to get to that after the next cut. We'll play in a sec. But first, I want to get into some other things he said. He talked about, he talked about so much crap throughout that whole thing that just...
If only you could see Mike's frustration right now. Audio just doesn't do it.
I know. We might have to play some of that again, because now I'm like drawing a blank of what. Play that from the beginning. I'm going to have you stop in the middle.
Cut one?
Yes.
You got it. Here you go.
Let's remember where we were when Bush left office. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. And I know my Republican friends seem to have some amnesia on this issue. But the world's financial crisis was on the verge. World's financial markets system was on the verge of collapse. That's where we were. Are we better off today than we were then? Absolutely. But the truth is that for the last 40 years, the great middle class of this country has been disappearing. And in my view, what we need to do is create millions of jobs
for the past 40 years.
By
Interesting.
rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure.
Okay, there it was. That's what I want to
raise
talk
the
about.
minimum wage to $15.
I am so sick and tired of hearing about the crumbling infrastructure. For one, I'm afraid to go down a sidewalk or the road because I'm afraid it's going to crumble. It's just crumbling. Don't go outside, anyone. The infrastructure is crumbling everywhere. Don't drink water or walk or drive or anything. But I'm just so sick of hearing this.
Crumbling.
It's good. He's working on his impression in there. Bernie Sanders, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm also sick of hearing about this because did we not spend $1 trillion when Obama got in office for this purpose? He had his stimulus package. He said the purpose of it was to rebuild the infrastructure. Did he not say that? Not only that, but that stimulus was built into the budget every year until sequester came along. Shouldn't it be fixed then? How much more do you want to spend? They're spending trillions of dollars on that infrastructure, and yet it's still crumbling? Where's all the money going then? Oh, wait a minute. You're giving it to the states, bribing the states to give your federal government, Democrats, socialist programs to expand the federal government in states, and they just give it away to the unions to protect the unions because the unions are Democrat voters. So that's why it's not fixing the infrastructure. But Bernie Sanders is not going to say that.
You know who doesn't crumble?
Who?
The North Pole.
Well, I don't know. Apparently it's melting because of global warming.
Let's not get into global warming.
Yeah, it's another.
That's a different show.
Whole subject. By the way, the Russians own the North Pole now. Did you know that?
No.
Did you know? I think it was almost 10 years ago now. Russia went under the ice in the North Pole and they planted a flag there.
Really?
No joke.
Well, I'm not upset because they're the only ones who can handle that temperature anyway.
Yeah, then you can have it. All right. Next cut. Next cut. This is Hillary Clinton talking about Wall Street, which is another thing I'm sick of them talking about because once again, they mislead the American people on what actually caused the crisis, the economic crisis. Go and play that cut for me.
I respect the passion and intensity. I represented Wall Street as a senator from New York, and I went to Wall Street in December of 2007, before the big crash that we had, and I basically said, cut it out. Quit foreclosing on homes.
Secretary Clinton, Congress does not regulate Wall Street. Wall Street regulates Congress. And we have got to break off these banks, going to them and saying, please do the right thing.
No.
Wall Street regulates Congress. So Congress is corrupt because they're getting money by Wall Street and they're basically helping Wall Street. Oh, so I have an idea. Let's make the government that's corrupt bigger. Let's give the government that's corrupt and in bed with Wall Street more power. There we go. It's a problem solved. That's what Bernie Sanders wants to do. Unbelievable. The thing that really bothers me when they start talking Wall Street is because they blame the quote-unquote big banks and Wall Street for the economic crisis. Notice how they never talk about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The government-sponsored entities that basically owned the housing market before the crash, that gave out all these subprime loans, they didn't play by the same rules as Wall Street. They got special favors. They were able to give out lower rates. Those two entities became totally politicized. The implicit government guarantee came in. The government, the Justice Department under Clinton, started going after banks if they didn't give out subprime loans to people who could not afford it. The government was totally entrenched in the housing market through those entities. The implicit government guarantee, the different rates that they were allowed to make, the government going in there and politicizing it through Barney Frank, and then going after banks who didn't apply to it. Sounds like a liberal, leftist, socialist program to me, but they don't ever talk about that. No, it's greedy Wall Street that caused it all. You tied Wall Street's hands for one thing, and you gave Wall Street the leverage through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So the banks, all they had to do was give out these subprime loans and then just sell them off to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and they were done with it, whatever. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac took care of it. Government totally involved in that, and they never talk about that. Instead, they want to expand that. Now Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac pretty much owned by the government, and it's completely wrong. Here, Bernie Sanders, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to read a couple books for me that talk about this in very great detail. The Housing Boom and Bust by Thomas Sowell. It's a great book, goes through detail by detail about how the government got involved in this, and even on the local level, got involved with this through environmental policies and all this other stuff. I want you to read another book for me. It's called Liberty and Tyranny by Mark Levin. He has a whole chapter on this and goes detail by detail on why the government, the federal government, through the Community Reinvestment Act and other government policies through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and different rules that they had that the other banks didn't have, the other housing lenders didn't have, took over the housing market, inflated it, and then it crashed. Of course, and then you want to expand government under that. Unbelievable. It is really beyond reason. I have more debate stuff I'm going to get into and debunk. You're listening to Beyond Reason Radio, beyondreasonradio.com.
You want to listen to Beyond Reason Radio live on your smartphone? Download the Beyond Reason Radio app now. Available in the Google Play or Apple App Stores.
All right, now I have the honor and the privilege to talk to you about my favorite restaurant in Orlando, and that is Doc's Streetside Grill. If you want to go to Doc's Streetside Grill, you can go to docstreetsidegrill.com to find out all the information. It's right outside downtown Orlando, right off West Orange Avenue, right across from ORMC. The last time I was there, we were there for the debate, and what I had was their ribeye steak, and it was amazing. It was really good. I had the ribeye steak, and I had key lime pie, of course. If I get a dessert there, I love their key lime pie. Doc's Streetside Grill, it's a fun place to go. They have great food. It's great fun. When you go there, ask for the Beyond Reason wings. If the waiter doesn't know that, tell them it's the hottest wings they can make. They'll make you the hottest wings they can make, and I had them before, and they are really good. They're Beyond Reason. Ask for the Beyond Reason wings. That's at Doc's Streetside Grill. Make sure you told them that Yaffe from Beyond Reason Radio sent you. Doc's Streetside Grill is your prescription for fun times.
Orlando's newest dining sensation, Doc's Streetside Grill, specializes in amazing flavors at prices you'll love. With special events and entertainment ranging from trivia to live bands to poker every evening, there's something for everyone. Doc's has amazing flavors that are always fresh. You know the motto, made today, bought yesterday. Doc's is located across from Orlando Regional Medical Center on South Orange Avenue. Check out DocStreetSideGrill.com for more info. Doc's is your prescription for good times. See you there.
Subscribe to the Beyond Reason podcast today on your Stitcher app and hear the voice of reason anytime.
Hey, this is Mike Yaffe from Bud Hedinger Live and Beyond Reason Radio, and I have a question for you. Are you planning on taking any long road trips? Well, I have the perfect tool for you to make that trip go by a little bit faster. What you want to do is download the iHeartRadio app. With the iHeartRadio app, you can find your favorite music stations or create your own custom station. Don't forget to look up your favorite talk show hosts. You can find that on there as well. Make sure to download the app today at iHeartRadio.com.
You can catch the latest Beyond Reason podcast on SoundCloud today. You want to listen to Beyond Reason Radio live on your smartphone? Download the Beyond Reason Radio app now. Available in the Google Play or Apple App Stores.
Welcome back to Beyond Reason Radio at beyondreasonradio.com. I am the voice of reason, the voice of truth that sifts through everything in the news that is beyond reason. I am your conscience in your ear that tells you what's right and what's wrong. And just better listen to me to get that of what's right and what's wrong. I am your conscience, your voice of reason. I am Michael Yaffe, and I appreciate you all joining me as we go through the Democrat debate point by point of what they try to make, the lies they try to sell, and how they basically, try to act like Santa Claus of what they think that's the perfect candidate is Santa Claus. Yeah. Santa Claus might as well run. Hillary wouldn't have a chance then. Free stuff for everybody. If you just follow the government line, they'll just follow. They'll just go along with it. All right, so I talked about how the Democrats lied about Wall Street. They lied about the economy, the economic crisis, the infrastructure spending. And now we get to guns. Why they were wrong about guns. This is what was said during the debate about guns. Go ahead, Mike.
I voted against it. I was in the Senate at the same time. It wasn't that complicated to me. It was pretty straightforward to me that he was going to give immunity to the only industry in America. Everybody else has to be accountable, but not the gun manufacturers. And we need to stand up and say enough of that. We're not going to let it continue.
Right. So, first off, they always proposed, they were talking about a bill to have expanded background checks and to get rid of the gun show loophole and all this stuff. And would somebody please explain to me how any of their proposed bills in the past would have stopped those mass shootings? You can't explain it because it wouldn't have happened. There was no way they wouldn't have stopped it. They would either bought the gun illegally, but they would have still been able to buy it legally even with those things that they added. Some of those people didn't really have history of mental health. That was known that they could have regulated. If a bad guy wants to get a gun, he's going to get a gun. So the left, I think, is starting to realize that. So what they're doing now is they're trying a new trick. They're trying to go after the gun manufacturers and the gun shops. A gun shop was sued in, I believe, Wisconsin recently and lost because someone bought a gun, gave it to someone else, that gun was used to shoot cops. They're going to sue the gun shops. They're going to sue the gun shop manufacturers every time there's a shooting. And some stupid judge is going to pick it up. And when she's like, that's what every other company and product has to do, why isn't it the same for guns? Please tell me something. Mike. Let's say you have a car.
I do have a car.
And you really hate someone. And you go crazy. And you decide to run over that person.
I thought we weren't going to bring this up.
It's too bad. We're bringing it up. Let's say you
Allegedly.
go crazy,
Yes.
and you decide to run over that person with your car. Should I be able then, or should the family of that person be able to sue the car manufacturer because you used the car to kill someone? Does
Absolutely.
that make, according to the left, you're right.
I'm being very sarcastic.
I could tell, I know. But that's the logic here. That means if I just ran in there right now, Mike, took off this microphone somehow and just killed you, beat you to death with it, that means that your family could sue the microphone manufacturer for me killing you with it.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
Hey, that microphone, it started. Like, if we didn't have microphones, there'd be no deaths.
You're right.
At all.
You're right.
And I think we need to
ban
regulate microphones.
Yes, expanded background checks.
We can no longer give them those freedoms.
Yes, expanded. The microphone show loophole is just awful.
And don't get me started about the cars.
But that's the logic that they're bringing up here. To imagine the precedent that sets. Wow. So that's there on guns. They have no real solution. And, of course, I just love how they just love to take away our liberty. They just love to take away our liberty. They're just excited every time because, normal law-abiding Americans use their guns responsibly. It's the crazy ones that don't. So that means it's like, okay, there's a candidate up there and talking to the law-abiding people, and they're like, there's all this gun violence. I'm going to take away your right to own a gun because of these crazies. I'm going to take away your liberty because of these crazies.
Now you get it.
Yes. There we go. That's it. But that's what they want to do. That's the logic they're setting. If they played that every time a candidate came out, that would be bad. Everyone would want their guns taken away and traded in for candy canes. Of course, then
a candy cane can be a very, very deadly weapon.
Yeah, I think we should ban candy canes, too.
I think we should sue candy canes.
You can make those really sharp.
Extremely.
The candy cane show loophole is just killing us, too.
There's way too much candy cane on candy cane violence in the North Pole, and we do not need that here
Of course,
in the
then there
United
would
States.
be the black market of candy canes, and that would just be...
Hey, I got candy canes.
Yeah, exactly.
No serial number.
All right, and
No
then
stripes.
no serial number. And then we have probably one of the most beyond reason things said at the debate. This is Hillary Clinton, and the logic behind this is just Oh, Hillary. By the way, when Hillary talks, do you just get this, like, kind of chill? Like, you know when someone scratches a chalkboard and you're just like, ah!
It's the twininess in her voice.
Was that your Hillary Clinton impression?
No, it's that pitch I was trying to do. I haven't worked on my Hillary.
That was
impression
awful.
Yet. No, I haven't worked on that one yet. That was just the pitch. In
I
the
don't
voice.
even. That wasn't even close to the
high.
pitch.
It's high. It's high up there.
You can't do a high voice.
I'm
That's
man.
probably good though. Yeah, you're
I'm
a
a
man.
man.
It's more like this. I'm Hillary Clinton.
You sound like a puppet.
What's so? Just play the cut.
I think what you've heard up here is some of the old thinking on immigration reform, and it's why it's gridlocked. We need to understand that our country's made stronger in every generation by the arrival of new American immigrants. That is why I have put out a policy for comprehensive immigration reform. That is why I would go further than President Obama has on DACA and DAPA. I mean, we are a nation of immigrants. We are made stronger by immigrants. Do you think for a second that simply because somebody's standing in a broken queue on naturalization, they're not going to go to the hospital? And that care isn't going to fall onto our insurance rates? I am for a generous, compassionate America that says we're all in this together. We need comprehensive immigration reform.
Okay, so actually was not the most beyond reason cut. We're going to get to that next, but I do want to talk about that because that was O'Malley talking about immigration. And that was my fault, Mike. I got the order. I have the order written right in front of me, and I still messed it up. But I got
was beyond reason.
Yeah, but immigration. They talk about how immigrants have built this country. Mike, we have to take care of the immigrants. Well, I agree with them. Immigrants are a good thing. My ancestors came over as immigrants from
All of
Poland.
ours are.
Yeah.
Unless you're Native American.
Yes. Well, eventually they had to immigrate.
Technically, they were once immigrants
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. But here's the point. Imagine if you're a Mexican. You want to come to the United States and you do it through the legal process. You do it, you go through the system, you get your green card, then you abide by the laws of the United States and eventually work hard to keep it and get your citizenship. And you're that Mexican immigrant, you're working in Texas, and all of a sudden you have to work next to someone who just crossed the border illegally, didn't have to go through any of the process you did, isn't following any of the laws that you did, or deflating your wages because they go around the minimum wage laws. And how do you feel about that? You know, the Democrat Party talks about they're the party of immigrants. How about the legal immigrants? How are you the party of them? How are you helping them? You're not helping them. All you're doing is taking away their incentive to do the right thing and go through the process the right way. They worked hard to get there. They followed the laws. It shows that the Democrat Party is not for the law-abiding citizen, the law-abiding immigrant either. No. They're for those who come over illegally. They're for those who get fake Social Security numbers made. They're for those who don't follow the laws, don't follow the minimum wage laws. By the way, I think it's so funny when Bernie Sanders, in one side of his mouth, says, we need to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And then wants open borders so an illegal immigrant can come in and totally take away jobs and not work for that minimum wage, work way lower than that minimum wage he wants, and more of them will get jobs because you decided to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Tell me how that makes sense. So you're just going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour while at the same time keeping open borders, while at the same time encouraging illegal immigration and then giving them more benefits from the government? Tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. They're not for the law-abiding citizen. All right, before we go to the break, I want to play this last cut by Hillary Clinton.
How is that not worse than mine?
Yours wasn't high-pitched at all. It was like, do it.
It's that, I don't know.
See, yeah.
It's that kind of...
You almost sound like Woody Allen.
All right, look, we're both going to take a class on Hillary, and we'll touch bases on this next week, okay?
Yeah. Play the
Here's
cut.
the cut.
It's always the Republicans or their sympathizers who say you can't have paid leave, you can't provide health care. They don't mind having big government to interfere with a woman's right to choose and to try to take down Planned Parenthood. They're fine with big government when it comes to that. I'm sick of it. You know, we can do these things. We should not be paralyzed. We should not be paralyzed by the Republicans and their constant refrain, big government this, big government that, except for what they want to impose on the American people. I know we can afford it because we're going to make the wealthy pay for it. That is the way to get it done.
You're not even close, Mike. But anyways, think about this. Think about what she said. All those stuff we're going to give away, all that Santa Claus giveaway stuff. How are we going to pay for it, Hillary? That's all the Republicans say. How are we going to pay for it?
I already told you, Mike. Magic.
Okay.
Magic.
Yeah, I know.
We have a surplus of magic right now, and that's what we're
take magic. It would take the surplus of magic. It would take magic because at the end of that cut, she says, "You know how we're going to pay for it? We're going to raise taxes on the wealthy." We have an $18 trillion debt. We have $200 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Everyone out there, go to debtclock.org. See what the debt's really like and how the debt's growing and how the unfunded liabilities are growing. And tell me how raising taxes somewhat on the wealthy is going to pay for all that. You could tax everyone in this country 100% and it wouldn't pay for all that. See, they don't know math. How about math? Maybe we should teach math more because apparently not enough people know math. And apparently they're using Siri too much, which doesn't work.
What is the current deficit?
Interesting question for me.
See, she doesn't even know.
Yeah, she doesn't want to answer it. The Democrats don't want to answer it. It's ridiculous. And by the way, the whole Planned Parenthood cut is so stupid. Oh, well, they hate big government unless it takes away a woman's right to choose. Notice how she didn't finish that, though. A woman's right to choose what? What? A woman's right to choose what, Hillary? What are they choosing? Tell me. Huh? What are they choosing? What has Planned Parenthood been doing? What are they doing? A woman's right to choose killing a baby. How about the baby's right to choose to live? I've never met anyone who said, man, I wish I was aborted. I was in my mom's womb, and I was like, man, Mom, just abort me. Please.
Is it weird that I've heard that before?
Oh, dear Lord.
I didn't say it. I just heard it.
From who?
Some kid from school.
Yeah, he's an idiot. All right, you're listening.
I agree.
You're listening to Beyond Reason Radio, beyondreasonradio.com.
Orlando's newest dining sensation, Doc's Streetside Grill, specializes in amazing flavors at prices you'll love. With special events and entertainment ranging from trivia to live bands to poker every evening. There's something for everyone. Doc's has amazing flavors that are always fresh. You know the motto, made today, bought yesterday. Doc's is located across from Orlando Regional Medical Center on South Orange Avenue. Check out DocStreetSideGrill.com for more info. Doc's is your prescription for good times. See you there.
Subscribe to the Beyond Reason podcast today on your Stitcher app and hear the voice of reason anytime.
Hey, this is Mike Yaffe from Bud Hedinger Live and Beyond Reason Radio, and I have a question for you. Are you planning on taking any long road trips? Well, I have the perfect tool for you to make that trip go by a little bit faster. What you want to do is download the iHeartRadio app. With the iHeartRadio app, you can find your favorite music stations or create your own custom station. Don't forget to look up your favorite talk show hosts. You can find that on there as well. Make sure to download the app today at iHeartRadio.com.
You can catch the latest Beyond Reason podcast on SoundCloud today. If you like Beyond Reason Radio, well, make sure to show it by liking the Facebook page at facebook.com/Beyond Reason Radio.
Yes, welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the voice of reason, Michael Yaffe. In a world that is beyond reason, I am your conscience in your ear telling you what's right and what's wrong, especially when it came to the Democrat debate. The lies they said, we've been going over that. We also talked about who the perfect candidate was for the Democrat Party. This is what the Democrats really want. They just can't get it, I guess, but this is what they really want. They want Santa Claus. They want Santa Claus to come and give you stuff and, watch you when you're sleeping and know when you're awake and monitor everything you're doing. Okay. But this lie really bothers me.
That's terrifying when you say it like that.
I know.
They're watching you. He knows.
Yes, but this lie that they always say that the rich don't pay enough taxes, which has been debunked so much. But I thought I would show you. I thought I'd give you some numbers. If you make $30,000 to $50,000 a year, almost, you pay 17.5%. I'm sorry, you pay of the total income tax that went to the government. They paid 4.5% of that. 4.5% of the taxes filed was paid by middle income. 16.1% from 50,000 to 100,000. Now, if you go 250,000 and above, if people that made that much, they paid 48.9% of the income taxes in this country. That's the rich paying 48.9%. That tells me that they paid the vast majority of taxes that the government's getting. So what's this lie? Now they say, well, the billionaires in Wall Street, they don't pay enough taxes. Well, notice, though, how would you get them to pay more? You'd have to raise the capital gains tax because that's where they're making their money, through the capital gains tax. Notice how the Democrat candidates never proposed that. They're never proposing to raise the capital gains tax. They're never really proposing to tax them that way. Why? Well, because Wall Street's in with the Democrat Party. I hate the dirty little secret here. Wall Street funds a lot of the Democrat Party. They don't really want to go after Wall Street. They like the money coming from Wall Street. That's a dirty little secret. Plus, a lot of them have money in Wall Street, and they want to keep their money. They don't want to raise taxes on capital gains. That's what will really do it. So if you're raising taxes on the top rate, which is $250,000 or above, you're raising taxes on the people that already pay the vast majority of income taxes in this country. Tell me how that makes sense. It doesn't. Okay, last thing I want to talk about when it came to the Beyond Reason debate, because it was Beyond Reason, was the dumbest question. The dumbest question. Sorry to offend the guy who asked this question, but this is the dumbest question that I've ever heard in a debate. And the fact that we actually took this seriously is beyond reason. Sorry, Mike, go ahead and play that.
I just got excited because it's so dumb.
Play that. Yeah, go ahead and play that cut, Mike.
My question for the candidates is, do Black Lives Matter or do all lives matter?
Let's put that question to Senator Sanders.
Black Lives Matter.
And Sanders says Black Lives Matter. So guess what that means?
I just want to play this part right here.
Black Lives Matter.
I know. There was someone in the crowd who responded to every question like that. Every time something said, they were like, yeah! Woo! Black Lives Matter! And it's so dumb because that means, Mike, I'm white. You're Latino. And I guess our lives don't matter. Your life doesn't matter.
Nah.
Only Black Lives Matter. It's so stupid. Why can't it be both? Oh, that misses the point of the Black Lives Matter movement. But think of how the question was raised.
I have a better question.
Yes.
What does this have to do with the next president of the United States?
It has nothing to do with it. It's stupid.
And second of all, let's just say, let's just entertain this thought for a minute. Let's say that one of them didn't think Black Lives Matter. Do you think they're really going to say it?
It's just,
they're going to say what they want.
But just think of the logic. Do Black Lives Matter or all lives? Well, no, all lives.
All
no,
lives.
Only Black Lives Matter. No, you're wrong. All lives don't matter. White lives, they don't matter. Only Black lives. That's how the question was raised. You want to phrase it a little different. You can say, what do you think of the Black Lives Matter movement? Do you think Black lives should be treated more fairly in this country? Fine, that would have been a better question. But not, do Black Lives Matter or all lives matter? Come on, don't make me sick. And actually, when I heard, the best response I heard from about this was Ben Carson. Ben Carson actually responded to this, and I really like what he had to say. This is what he had to say.
Well, it's so typical of political correctness in our country. Now, of course, all lives matter, and all lives includes black lives, and we have to stop submitting to those who want to divide us up into all these special interest groups and start thinking about what works for everybody. And, you know, there are a lot of policies that this administration has embraced that hurt black lives, that hurt all people who are in the underclass.
Now, two parts of this that are really brilliant. For one, he's like, look, of course, stop buying into the political correctness of this stupidity. Of course, all lives matter, including black lives. And that's what he's saying. That's a great point. Second point he makes, if we really care about black lives, let's care about their lives. The Democrat Party has failed the African American community in this country. Most blacks live in cities and states run completely by Democrats. And now they're still high unemployment, they're still poor, there's still high crime, and the Democrats haven't done anything about it. You want to know who really cares about lives? Conservatives do, because we care about individual liberty.
I thought you were going to say Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, and Santa Claus. And Santa Claus. Oh, I thought you were going to play the Santa Claus music.
I can if you'd like.
I guess we're out of time. All right, I thank you all for listening to Beyond Reason Radio. Go to my website, beyondreasonradio.com. If you like the show, if you listen to the show or on live or the podcast, share with your friends. I need your help to get this show going. You're listening to Beyond Reason Radio. I'll catch you guys on Monday.